Hey there, Beady Besties. Happy Sunday, my friends. Happy Sunday. I hope it was an amazing weekend wherever you are. It was a pretty good weekend here, other than Friday. Friday was a little dicey, but today and yesterday, no complaints. So, yeah, guys, today I have a super fun bracelet using May's Jesse James Magical Mystery Bead Box from May 2025. If you guys caught Jennifer over there today, it was Jennifer, Jody, and Stacy, my three amazing ladies. That was a weird voice. I'm not sure what's going on, but they made. Oh, Jody, by the way, my love, you look smashing today, girl. Is that a new eyeshadow palette you're trying out? You look lovely. Slay the day, my queen. Slay the day. Anyway, sorry, that was my little message for Jody. But if you caught the ladies over there today, they made just incredible, incredible designs with the JJB box, and I wanted to make something too. So we're going to do that today. But first, we're going to read a card. Okay, we're going to read a card. Enough with my shenanigans. You guys. You have to have your daily dose of call shenanigans. I've been gone for 2 days. Oh no! Look, I was like, she doesn't want to close today. Okay. And let's get some of today's wisdom, shall we? When your past calls, don't answer. It has nothing new to say. 2 snaps, girl. You see that? That's for you. Yes, you. Okay, friends. So let's get into this. I did not realize, hold on, let me just adjust my one little light here. I did not realize that there was Donut Day had passed us. I feel kind of bad because, guys, I used to do the, National Day of and whatnot. I'm going to bring a bee mat in because just one is not enough here. Anyway, and I missed it, my friends. I've not done that in a while, and now I feel terrible because I feel like I let you all down on Donut Day because this would have been a great project for Donut Day, but it's okay. All right, friends, so in this Jesse James bead, so it was like the sweet shop, it was a little theme. We had some of these, which of course look like fun little donuts, right? I think we got 5 or 6 of these. We got a whole little thing of them. And this, of course, undeniably is a donut, okay? That is a donut. And then these 2 little jelly rings, I thought they looked like lifesavers, but they could be kind of like, jelly donuts, just naked. They're naked jelly donuts. Okay, friends, don't look at them. They're shy. Just look away. Anywho, and also, my friends, these peanut beads, I recently discovered that if you stack them and you do I'll show you, they look like little butterflies, and I never saw that before, so I'm super excited. And also, we're going to use 2 of these that were in one of the bead mixes because, again, I think they look like little raspberry jellies. We are also going to be using some soft flex, and this is in the turquoise color. Shout out to my friend Rosalinda for this little baby. Guys, I've done this kind of project before. This is, something that you guys will probably be like, oh yeah, Kyle's done this before, because I have. But it's always fun when you can do it with different materials, right? Because even though it's kind of the same sort of procedure, it looks different because with different beads. And we are also going to make a really cute pair of earrings, and I will give you a little spurler. Here's the spurler. Aren't they just sweet? So we're also going to be using one of these donuts, and then on the one strand, we had 2 of these gorgeous donuts, was on the same strand as that. And so I decided to give us simple little earrings, right? Just simple little earrings. And there's actually 2 ways that you can make these. So if you don't like the way I made them, then I can show you another way to make them. Let's see, what else do we need? Oh, and I'm also bringing in this little piece of chain that is for our bracelet, as well as a lobster. And I will probably be using a jump ring here, I'm sure, at some point, as well as crimp tubes. So let me pull out my jump ring. Oh, I'm so sorry. Things that I should have done beforehand. This is just a little baby 4mm. I probably will not use jump rings on this side. I'll probably just take this chain and attach it. Yeah, it fits perfect. So I'll probably just attach that straight to the bead stringing wire without a jump ring. But I do want a jump ring for my lobster because I feel like it just kind of gives it a little bit better movement. And then I've got my soft flex crimps, the OGs. And I think you're only going to need 2. Let's go ahead. You're gonna need more for the earrings as well, but we'll get to that when we get there, my friends. Okay. All right, guys, and we are ready to begin. Now, let me just put all this in this little thing here. All of my little findings. Look how organized we are today, my friends. Listen, it's always a new day it's always a fresh start for new beginnings. All right, let me get my cutters out here, and my cord is all tangled up in my tools. All right, friends. Now, when we cut this for our bracelets, we're going to want to cut a lengthy piece. So we're going to want to double it up for sure. Plus, so my rule of thumb basically is double the wrist size plus like 3 inches. That's what I tend to do. That might be excessive. We'll see together. I'm not sure. But say I'm going to make this for a 7-inch wrist. So then I will probably cut maybe 18 inches of wire. So I know probably my rule of thumb that I just said would be 17 inches of wire. I'm doing the math in my head, I think. But I don't know. We'll go with 18. So that's 12 and then 6. Okay. Let's cut ourselves 18 inches. Because we are going to be kind of doubling it up. Not kind of. We actually are going to be doubling it up. Ooh. Oh, well, there she goes. And we also want to have, room for crimpage. We got to have crimpage room, my friends. And so let me grab those here because we're going to be making a crimp right from the get-go. We're going to be starting out with a crimp, my friends. Let's get this going. Okay, so we're going to take our bead stringing wires here. We're going to bring the two ends together. Guys, I did my nails especially to match this palette. I hope I did well. Okay, we're going to slide our crimp tube on to both strands. Both strands. And then we're going to slide it all the way down. Now, I do try to keep, this nice and looking good. Okay, there we go. I'm going to bring it down to, we don't need a terribly big loop. I think that's a good enough loop. Okay, there's our wires are not crossing. Well, they weren't anyway. They're going to cross in this project anyway, so it's fine. Okay, where is there they are. Okay, we're just going to come in here and just going to pull that up just slightly, make that just a little bit smaller, and we're going to go ahead and crimp. Guys, you don't have to smash down. Then we're just going to rotate and rotate like a little rotisserie chicken at the Boston market, just rotating and basking in the little light, making everybody want to eat it because he's a little tasty snack. That's what we're doing. We're just rotating like a rotisserie. There we go. Okay. All right, friends. So now, what is wrong with me today? Don't answer that, my friends. I didn't even check if this bead was going to be big enough for both strands because I had a different bead here when I made my sample project. And that bead, yeah, it does. Okay, I thought it would. So I'm just going to go ahead and I'm going to thread this little jelly on first, okay? And then what I'm going to do is my next bead, yeah, this is going to be my next bead. So what we're going to do is one is going to go over this way, one is going to go through this way, and then the other is going to go through this way, right? So we're crossing our wires inside of that donut and bringing it down, okay? And that is going to sit just like that. And now we want to push it up a little bit, right? We want a little bit of space, but we also, we don't need it a ton of space. Just enough space. I think that's really pretty. And now since we kind of have our wires trained this way, the rest should be pretty easy. So now we're going to make a butterfly. So let me show you this cute little butterfly. So I'm taking 3 of these peanut beads and we're stacking them. But I'm using 2 different colors. So I'm using 2 of one color and then 1 of the other color. So I'm doing the first color and then the 1 of the other color and the second of the 2 colors. Hopefully that made sense. We have fuzz here. And when we stack this and push this down, I'm sorry, but that's a butterfly. That, my friends, is either a butterfly or a bow tie, but I'm going with butterfly. So this is like a butterfly and donut bracelet. It's just so cute. Okay, so we're going to move that little butterfly down. And now we're going to put on our next donut. So we're going to make sure that we got to keep an eye on these wires. Make sure that they're, not crossing too much. Okay, through one, this one's going through the front, and then we're going to take this one and go through the back, and we're going to pull down, right? Pull all that down right next to our butterfly. Okay, and you can adjust as we go, right? We're going to push that up a little closer to our butterfly. Okay, so cute. Okay, now we're going to do our next butterfly. I might not have cut enough wire, guys. I don't know. I do this all the time. Okay, so this one's going to have purple wings. So I have 2 purple beads. So there's the first purple bead. And I have a yellow bead for the little body. Guys, I did make sure all the butterflies were different colors. So they're all a different color combination. Okay, now we're going to pull those down to our last donut and snap them in place. And I'm also kind of pushing everything down a little bit as we go. So now we have got 2 butterflies or bow ties. Now we're going to do another one of these confetti donuts. Oh, guys, if you were in the at the live today, we were talking about donuts, and man, I still want donuts. And then we were talking I think we were talking about donuts when we got off the air. We were like, you know, really, or ice cream or something. I don't know. We wanted some snacks. All right, guys. So now we are at our centerpiece. So we're gonna thread both wires through our center donut, right? And we're just gonna bring him down into this row of donuts. Just making sure everybody's, you know, playing nicely with each other. All right, and then we're gonna put on our next confetti donut. I think I have enough. I think I'll have enough bead stringing wire. We'll see. Maybe I should have cut 20 inches. I don't know. Sometimes I'm bad with measurements. I'm like, oh, that's totally gonna be enough. And it's either, yes, it's enough plus another 17 yards, or it's not enough at all. It's one or the other, my friends, but never both. Never both. Okay. All right, here we go. So this next little butterfly is going to have pink wings, and a little blue body. There's the other pink wing. Okay, go, 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 go. Okay. Okay, and we're going to bring those down and snuggle them up there. All right. Now for our next donut. I'm getting a little short on bead stringing wire. I'm getting a little concerned, my friends. We might have to shorten this one up. And then I can just redo it off screen, but we'll see. I mean, I'm kind of confident, but I don't know. I'm just adjusting, trying to conserve more wire by making these all a little bit closer together, but we don't want them to group up on each other. We still want a little bit of spacing in here. Okay. Now we're going to do our last butterfly, and this butterfly has green wings. He's our green wing little buddy. And these are so feather light. These little peanut beads are so cute. Okay, he's got a white body and another green wing. I should be fine. I should be fine on bead stringing wire, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, because I only got 2 more things to put on here. Okay. And then just make sure that those peanuts are peanutting. They're doing what they're supposed to do. Okay, I can maybe make a little bit more room now. I was freaking out. I think that should be good. Okay, now we're going to put our last ring on, which is the little jelly ring, the naked jelly ring. Don't look at it. Okay, I'm sorry. It was enough the first time, Kyle. You didn't have to do it the second time. Okay, let's bring our little naked jelly down. There we go. And then we're going to put on our last raspberry jelly ball munchkin. It's a raspberry jelly munchkin, my friends, because I'm a Dunkin' girl. I'm from the East Coast. I'm a Philly girl, and we're Dunkin' people. Where's your hole, dude? Does this not have a hole? It's a cabochon Oh my gosh, it does not have a hole. Are you serious? You were on a strand. How do you not have a hole? Oh, you know what? It wasn't on a strand. It was in a mix, wasn't it? Well, anyway, I found its hole. It's fine. All right. I was getting concerned. Okay, so let's measure what we have here. And we're almost at 7 inches, so by the time we crimp, we'll be at about 7 inches. But of course, it might not wear like 7 inches because it is a little bit, you know, it's got a lot going on here. So just do this. Make sure you can make it into, it's flexible enough to do that. And just double check your spacing. If you see one that has a little too much space, go ahead and fix that. So I'm liking that. I think that's really cute. All of our butterflies are staying butterfly-like. I love it. Love it. All right, so how do we finish it, Carl? It's pretty simple. We're going to take our other crimp tube and we're going to go ahead and put that on both of these wires. Okay, slide that down. And then we're going to take one of these wires. It doesn't matter which one. Okay, and then we're going to make a loop. But before we do that, we're going to attach our chain. That one's fine. And then we're going to go ahead and we're going to put this third wire through that crimp tube and pull it. All right, pull that down. I like to lay my work out when I'm doing this so I can just kind of see what is going on. Okay, so I'm going to make that loop just a little bit smaller. This wire will bring your loop down. This wire is just going to stabilize it, right? You can just hold that to stabilize it. But this wire going downwards is the one you want to pull to adjust your loop. Okay, I think I like that. It's nice. And then we'll just do one more adjustment and then we're ready to crimp. Okay. We're going to get in there. We're going to make sure that that tube is securely inside of its little crimp maker. And then we're going to go ahead and we're going to roll it like the little chicken. Okay, that's it. I'm not going to use that reference again, guys. That was like, I was like, well, first of all, now I'm starving, and there is no Boston markets in Tennessee. Like, what is going on? I miss Boston Market. Not so much the chicken there. You know what I liked at Boston Market? I'm sorry, guys, I was off camera. I liked the meatloaf. I thought their meatloaf was really good. The meatloaf carver sandwiches, big fan. All right, my friend, I don't even know if Boston Market is still around. I don't even know. So we're going to go ahead, and I might have made, no, I don't think that's too small. So we're going to go ahead, and I'm going to cut this guy. Being very careful, right? Being very careful not to cut anything else. And then I'm going to cut this guy. Being very careful not to cut my chain. Okay, I'm just going to slide him right down here. Then I like to pull a little bit to give myself some tension so I know I'm really getting down in there. Okay. And then we just got to pop a jump ring on here with our clasp. And then we can go in there. It's just a cute little project. Like, how sweet is that? How sweet is that? You know what? I might have to use this one because this is just a little baby 4mm jump ring. Just a little baby. Guys, sorry, I wanted to get this out earlier. But I don't know if I told you guys about Reginald, my raccoon. So I've been feeding him for about a week now. And if we're on Facebook, if you're friends with me on Facebook, I'm sure you've seen the video footage. And if we're not friends, guys, send me a friend request. Oh, I'm a very happy Facebook person. We post fun stuff on Facebook. We don't drama book, my friends. But anyway, so I wanted to see if he liked. We had tater tots for dinner tonight. Well, with dinner. And I wanted to see if he liked tater tots because it's so exciting. We're trying new foods, right? Like every day I give him something different. And then I sit in my office with all the lights off and I wait till he comes. He comes usually about 10 o'clock. And he's pretty timely, my friends. For a raccoon, he's pretty timely. And so it's fun just to put different stuff in his bowl. And let's see what Reginald wants to eat today. So today I gave him tater tots. And friends, I have to tell you, I was really... he didn't like them. So he usually gets like dog food because I've read that it's healthier to give them dog food instead of cat food. So we bought him some dog food and we bought him some goldfish crackers. Look how cute this is. And he loves peanut butter crackers and cheese crackers. How dang darn sweet is this bracelet? But so and I tried him with apples. He did not care for apples. He didn't care for those at all. This is what it looks like on, and they will sit flat. Look how cute that is. A cute little bracelet, my friends. Look at our little butterflies. Oh no, they unbutterflied. Oh, I have it on. Okay, there they are. Butterflies, butterflies. Okay, friends, that's enough of my. You didn't pay for my singing, did you? You didn't come here. You didn't pay. Well, you didn't pay anything, but you didn't come here for my singing. All right, let's make a quick pair of earrings, my friends. And then I can go and he might come back. Sometimes he does a second tour, so he might come back and see that, you know, tater tots are really good and he might like them. I don't know where this guy came from. He hitchhiked. But here we have just 3 simple things. We have one of each of these, and we have an ear wire, and then we're just going to need a little bit of bead stringing wire, and it looks like I did 2 crimps here. And now, if you don't want to do it this way, because this donut will spin a little bit this way, that doesn't bother me, but it might bother you if your donut spins. And when I say spin, you know, he's just on bead string wire, so he might spin. If you don't want to do that, you can use wire, and you can do like your Bracelet wire wrap here. Bring your wire up through here. I would cut probably like a longer, like maybe on the 8-inch side piece, maybe 22 gauge. And then when you make your wraps here, bring the wire down behind the donut, and then wrap it down around. Rewrap it over top of your wrap here, and then that will keep your donut from spinning. But you know, it is what it is. It's the nature of the beast. Okay, let's cut us a piece of wire here. Oh, I don't know. Let's cut maybe 5 inches, because that's probably, yeah, that's enough. Because we're gonna bring this one strand. We're gonna crimp here, and then so it doesn't have to be like even. So I think 5 inches is enough. Oh, is that 5 inches? Yeah, okay. That should be plenty. Well, Kyle, just because the wire was free and a gift doesn't mean you have to. It doesn't mean you have to waste it. I gotcha. All right, so let's do this. So let's take our wire here and put this through our donut, okay? And then we're gonna put our crimp tube on. And the reason why I like to crimp it here is just to keep this donut in place, to keep the wire in place, because once we crimp the wire, then we know it's going to stay like this, right? And I'm going to make this just a little bit shorter here. Making sure we have enough wire for the rest of our stuff. Okay, that should be good. All right. And we also want to make sure that we're giving it some room here. So let's see how much room we gave it. About this much room. I think that's good. So this way it doesn't get stuck. It sits nice. Okay, and let me go ahead, because I'm a right-handed crimper. I'm gonna switch hands. Let's see. And of course, feel free to measure up. Now remember, this is going to shorten up a little bit when we crimp it. So I think that's about good. Okay. So if anything, guys, this is a really good project if you're just learning crimping. And you want to like a good crimping project, especially if you're learning with the magical crimping pliers. Because regular crimps, I don't know if I would like the look of them. I would probably want to put a crimp cover over them. And we all know Kyle doesn't do crimp covers, so yeah. But it's just it's a good project to learn your crimping, I think. Okay, we're gonna go ahead and cut that. Again, I'm just gonna hold this taut while I cut that. Okay. All right, so now we just have this one wire. And I definitely cut enough. You could probably get away with 4 inches. And then we're just going to load this bead down. Guys, I didn't put any other beads on here. Just something simple. Just something simple. And then we're going to take our crimp tube and then we're going to put it through. And then we're also going to kind of put it through the donut again. And this will also help it from spinning not too much, because it's put a little extra bead stringing wire in there. So, I mean, it's still going to spin, but it won't be so loosey-goosey. All right, so let's see what was the size of our loop. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to match our loops. I'm going to take this wire behind. I'm just playing around with the size here. And also what's important to note is we want this loop, when we crimp this loop, we want it to be front facing, the same as this loop, because our ear wire is going to come in here and scoop up like that. So we just want to make sure that we are crimping this loop facing forward to match the donut. Okay. All right. And I'm liking that. Okay. See how we did that? And this way it'll help your ear wire to sit nicer and not twist up too much. Okay, and I made that loop a little small and I somehow mangled this crimp. I think I got a little overconfident there. That's not too bad. So then we're going to come down here and then we're going to snip this guy. Okay. And then I did make that loop a little smaller, but that's okay. And I like to use these kind of ear wires for these earrings because this bead stringing wire can be like slippery and can slip out of things, but it's really hard for it to slip out of this ear wire, I find. So I do appreciate this ear wire for that. Because it kind of loads in on the top, and then once you close this sucker, nothing's getting through there. Oh my goodness. Hello. Danny's like, all right, Mama. You've been doing this long enough tonight. All right, my friends, and let's see. Let's see what we got. These might be a little tad shorter. That's okay. Not too bad. A little bit shorter. Not too bad. This loop is definitely longer. But guys, how stinking cute. Even if you don't want to make the bracelet and you just want a cute little pair of donut earrings. Oh my gosh. So cute, my friends. I love it. All right. I think I have one more project coming up with this box, guys. I wanted to do a memory wire bracelet. I had in mind to do like a color blocking with all those mixes. And I thought that would be something really, really pretty, but we'll see if we can get to that. But in the meantime, I hope you enjoyed this, my friends. I hope you guys are safe wherever you are. Guys, this weather is so bad. You are all in my prayers. You know, just be safe out there, my friends, and know that somebody is thinking about you and, you know, and sending you hugs and all the things. All right, my friends, until next time. Bye. Oh, plant the magical beans, my friends. Keep planting the magical beans. Don't ever stop planting the magical beans. Okay, love you. Bye.